John in Minneapolis. Hey, John, what's on your mind today?
Yeah, I just had to call in to make a comment about healthcare because I think healthcare is a human right. And when people, persist in this ridiculous argument that the private sector can take care of the needs of sick people, they're actually and indirectly, I think, causing the death of a lot of people. There are a lot of people who just decide not to seek any care at all, and they die.
Yep.
And they're encouraging that, aren't they? I mean, isn't healthcare should be a right. It really should be.
Yeah.
And it's just this argument. I'm so tired of it, and I've been in healthcare. Working in healthcare for 36 years, and, I can tell you it's not a rational system. If we had a single-payer system like they do in, every other industrialized country in the world, we would not be spending as much, and we would be covering we would be covering everybody. And they don't want to even hear that.
Right.
They want to take this country and they want to build a wall around it as far as how anything is done anywhere else if it's done better. And in that case, it's done better.
Yeah.
I mean, the outcomes are better. All the indices indicate, that they have better health in France than we do. Our life expectancy, as you pointed out, particularly for people in the working class and middle class, is actually going down.
Right.
And I think that's because of this, persistence on linking healthcare with employment. It just doesn't work. And, why should we, have, like, for instance, in my healthcare organization, we have 24 vice presidents. How does that enhance the healthcare of the people that I serve working there?
Right.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the core issue. I mean, this is what Teddy Kennedy went to the mat with Richard Nixon about back in 1972. It's what Bernie Sanders was all about. And frankly, I think that we're moving in that direction. I hear this kind of rhetoric now from Hillary Clinton, that rather than thinking of health insurance as a privilege, we should consider it a right. And thank you, John, for the call. And there's precedent for that, right? I mean, it used to be in this country that if you wanted to have fire insurance on your home, you had to contract with a private company. And the private company would give you a shield that you'd put next to your front door or, on the side of your house. And if somebody noticed that your house was on fire or you noticed that your house was on fire, you'd call, and there would be competing companies, right? Because we need competition. You'd call the company and they would come out and put it out. But if you didn't have the shield, or if it was the wrong company, they'd just drive right by. And people's houses burned down all the time. And it got really serious, and a lot of this turned with the Chicago fire. It got really serious when the fire moved from one person's house to another to an entire neighborhood to half the city burning down. And so we all decided, hey, this is crazy. If somebody's house can catch on fire and burn down, then we should have a system, that we all collectively fund, where we share the risk. We should have a system where we share the risk to put out those fires and protect those people's houses. Now, we all agree on this in the United States. I mean, there's this small crackpot fringe in the Libertarian Party who thinks that all fire departments should be privatized, but nobody's taking them seriously. We all agree that having a fire department, that if your house is on fire, it's the obligation of society to put the fire out. Isn't your body as important as your house? Isn't it more important? If your house is metaphorically on fire, I mean, you got cancer, you got heart disease, you got diabetes. Shouldn't we all collectively be saying, hey, we're going to help put that fire out? Isn't that what the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness means? How is it that every other country in the world has figured this out, and we still have an entire political party, the Republican Party, committed to saying, no, society shouldn't put out the fire in your body. And in fact, some of them even say in your house, because they want to privatize fire departments. No, we shouldn't do that. Instead, we should just, open the market and figure out some way to have competition fix everything, because competition just magically fixes everything. Well, in the marketplace for non-essential goods and services, I'm with you on that. I've started 7 companies in my life. I've been in the business world for most of my life. And I'm all in favor of making a profit. And I've done it a number of times. But that's a whole different thing from the commons, from life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. From, is your house on fire? Is your body on fire? Are we going to have public roads, or are we going to have private roads? Now I'm wandering into a discussion of the commons, so I'll get back to you.